Before we start placing our cabinets in our kitchens and bathrooms, we want to talk a little bit about design theory. We'll start with kitchen design theory and some things that you must keep in mind when you're designing your kitchen, and that's for the sake of the occupants. But what we're going to do is we're going to place cabinets, appliances, and create a work triangle. This new term for you probably, but work triangle is this. Okay, the work triangle should be no more than 27 feet total of all legs, with no legs shorter than 9, nor longer than, no legs shorter than 4 feet, nor longer than 9 feet. And as you see here in this picture, we have the work triangle, and what that statement is talking about is the total of all these legs in the triangle should be no more than 27 feet, and that no leg should be more than 9 feet or less than 4. And that is for, the convenience of the occupants, and it's just a good little tidbit of design theory. Of course, you can design a kitchen any way that you want to, but what is most important is the occupants' happiness and comfort. So let's keep that in mind when we're designing our kitchens and our baths, and then of course we'll talk about baths later. But another thing to make note of here is that if there's an island in the kitchen, it is okay for that island to interfere into that work triangle, but by no more than 12 inches. Okay, and as you see here in the picture, this island may interfere by 6 or 8 inches or so, which is okay. But if it's more than 12 inches, that's not considered to be a good idea. Now, there's no certain code or anything that says that you have to do this, except for in other situations, like maybe in apartments and in commercial buildings, there are codes that govern the space and everything. But for your house, this is just a suggested method of designing the kitchen, and it's one that we will adhere to when we're designing our houses. In clearance, we want 40 inches of clearance, and that again is just a suggestion. It's not a rule or a law or anything of that nature. It is, and most companies will go by that. They will not design anything, any aisles of a kitchen that are less than 40 inches. Okay, let's keep those things in mind, and let's jump over to CAD and talk about how we are actually going to lay our floor plan out in our kitchens, or our cabinet plan. Here we are in my little example cabin that I've been using for most of these lessons, and this is my kitchen right here where my cursor is circling, and I want to put some cabinets. I'm just going to put a small set of cabinets right here, and I'm actually going to put some right over here as well, and then this whole area here gonna be my kitchen, and actually I'm thinking about putting a bar over here somewhere as well. Okay, so cabinets, typically they're 2 feet from the wall, from the back wall, almost always. Rarely are they more than that. They're definitely not less than that, but 2 feet from the wall. And to put your cabinets down, it's real easy to do. Now I am going to create a new layer for my cabinetry, and you can decide whether you want to have a separate layer for your kitchen and your bath cabinetry, or if you just want all cabinetry to be on the same layer. And there's also another name for that. A lot of times you won't see it listed as cabinetry, but it will show up as what we call casework. Okay, so casework is what we would be working on when it comes to our cabinetry here. So creating a new layer, and I'm just going to name it case, because I'm going to put all my cabinets for my bath and my kitchen all on the same layer. And color, choose something that's going to contrast from everything else you have on here, so that you can clearly see the difference between the items. I might just stay with white. I don't know. I think I will. I'm going to stay with white and make my cabinets all white. So the first thing we'll do is we'll offset, choosing the offset button, typing in 2 feet, because that's how far we want to offset this line right here to start making our cabinets. Okay, and then what we'll do is we'll offset this one as well, and I said we would put one here also. Okay, and of course those are still red at the moment. That's alright. I'm going to place them on the cabinet or the case layer. There we go. Alright, now of course I have to look for things like door openings and stuff of that nature. This is a very small house, so it is going to be tight in certain places. Now right here I can't build the cabinet right there, or I will not be able to open up this utility closet area. So starting with that one, I'm just going to shorten up that cabinet. I'm going to bring it back here and give that door enough room to open up, and then I'll just finish marking it out by drawing. Let's see, try that again. I gotta activate that layer first. Okay, and actually I'm going to go all the way across here. That's right. That's going to be my cabinet. My kitchen sink will go right here, and then of course it'll continue on to this wall over here. Here, same thing with that door. I'm going to give that door just a little bit of space, not much, about 6 inches or so, and that's good. Here, and of course I don't really want my cabinet to extend over here up to the window. I want to give it a little bit of space also, probably about another 6 inches. And it doesn't have to be exactly 6 inches. Alright, so that basically, so far, are my cabinets. Real easy, right? Okay, well I do have to think about a few other things. One, I'm going to have some wall cabinets. Now the cabinets you see that I've drawn here that are 2 feet from, or that extend 2 feet from the wall, these are base cabinets. They're called base cabinets because they're on the bottom. We also have something called wall cabinets, which are the ones that are mounted to the walls. You have them in your home, I'm almost positive, but they're the ones that would typically hold the cups and the glasses and the plates and things of that nature. And those actually extend 1 foot from the wall. Okay, so we do a different type of line for those. We do what's called a hidden line, and we can do it one of several ways. We can just keep it on the case layer and then just change the line type, but then that sometimes becomes confusing. So I'm actually going to create another layer, and I'm going to call it, oops, there we go, case -W for case wall. Okay, and I should further define this by calling it case -B for base. Alright, and I'm going to keep the case wall white. I'm just going to change my line type to this dashed line. Okay, and I'm going to draw, well, I don't have to draw lines. I can just, again, do my offsets just like I did before, or actually probably easier just to do this one. And we're going to offset just 1 foot, regardless of which line we choose to offset. And put it up over there, there, and there. Okay, and then I'm going to escape, and I'm going to reselect those and put them on that dashed line layer of the case wall. Okay, so that indicates that those are wall cabinets extending only 1 foot. They're considered hidden lines because you really wouldn't see them on the particular floor plan that would be represented at a much higher level than the cabinets themselves. Now of course by the window here I can't have wall cabinets because, well, it's going to impede with the window. So I'm going to go back here, click, and I'm going to drag this back, and I'm going to give it a little bit of space. Same here, drag it back just a little bit from the window, and now I'm going to place another line joining those to the wall. See, that one didn't move a minute ago when I was trying to move that. So we'll do this. And we'll just move it back 3. We'll type 3 inches. I think I went the wrong direction. 6 inches. There we go. And just move that over likewise. Okay, so those are my wall cabinets. And as you see here, I've paid attention to. Of course, I didn't have a choice to. There wasn't much space to work with, but I'm going to have that work triangle with all my appliances are going to fall within those legs that we talked about. And I'm going to use this space over here. I'm going to extend this wall, and I just thought of this just now. But I'm going to extend this wall to create a spot for my refrigerator. Nifty idea, eh? And I'm going to extend that about 3 feet. So it's like 36 inches. Same with this one. 36 inches. I guess those were referencing 2 different points. And then join those back up right here. Right, and then I'll go back and clean this up here later. But that wall, I'll put my refrigerator right here, and then that will give me that work triangle. I'm going to have my sink here. Okay, so from the refrigerator to the sink to right here, which will be the stove. I think I haven't decided yet, but that will become within that between 9 and 4 feet in that 27-inch triangle or 27-foot triangle. You'll have to catch me on that. Sometimes I say inches when I mean feet. But that's really how you place your cabinets. Real simple. This is of course just one phase of cabinet design, and we'll definitely get into some more detailed cabinet design much later or next year. Thank you. Okay, what I first showed you in the video was me placing a couple of the cabinets in my kitchen. I believe I placed this one and this one, and then of course I showed you how to do the wall cabinets, the upper cabinets that would contain some of the dishes and things of that nature. But I also, since then, I have gone back and completely designed the kitchen. This is a very small kitchen, and a lot of the things in here are meant to accommodate a small space. And of course this is just a 2-room cabin. But I've placed a sink right here, a double sink. I added a leg onto my cabinetry here so that I could place my stove. And those are some ideas that you really don't come across until you get into the design phase and you see that you need something else to complete your kitchen design. So that's why I added this leg and did not start out with this leg even in mind. It just kind of came to me. But I also have my refrigerator and my dishwasher. Now, as far as where did I get the dimensions to draw these items, well, I just kind of went to my kitchen and measured my kitchen sink and just went off of that, and then made this drawing of a sink right here. And the refrigerator is a bit smaller than what you'd normally see. I probably have a few more inches I could add to it to make it a little bit bigger refrigerator if I wanted to. But everything else I just kind of went off of what I measured here in my house, or what I remember the sizes of things being, and placed them that way. And that's a good idea for you too as you're designing. Go with some things that you know. If you're working on designing your kitchen, you don't know how big of a sink to put there, just go measure the sink that's in your kitchen at home and use that. I basically just measured my length or my width and then my depth, and the rest I just made from what I think a sink should look like.
And of course I placed a table here to kind of test the space to see how much space I was going to have if I placed a piece of furniture somewhere around in here, and it looks pretty darn good. I'm thinking about extending this out to make a bar with some bar stools, and that might even negate having this table altogether. Now, one thing I did have to make sure of is that I have 36 inches between where these two permanent fixtures of the cabinets are. Anytime you do anything that's structurally permanent like that, you need to make sure you have your 36 inches of walk space at least. And that same goes for your hallways and your stairwells and things like that. It's real easy to remember that. Just remember 36 inches of walk space, and that'll pretty much take care of everything. All right, if you have any questions, just let me know, and we will do bathrooms next.